Good afternoon. My name is Paula Barnes, and I'm the CrimeWatch Specialist for the Southwest District, and I'd like to welcome all of you here today for our 32nd Annual National Night Out Kickoff Celebration. This event is being celebrated across the United States tonight, and it unites residents, law enforcement, civic groups, and neighborhood associations from around 11,000 communities. The Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department is exceptionally grateful for the consistent support and partnership with the community. It takes everyone to make sure we have a safe city. With our CrimeWatch groups, we've established a working relationship between the community and the police, in turn preventing and solving crime more effectively. We are here today to celebrate and honor those who have gone above and beyond in their communities. Before we announce the Crime Fighters of the Year, I would like to introduce our first speaker, the mayor of our great city, the Honorable Mayor Greg Ballard.
Well, thank everybody for coming out for this event. It's always fun to honor the Crime Fighters of the Year who do such a good job year in and year out. First, I have to mention where we are. Donna, wherever Donna is, I know she would want us to do that. If you remember, this area was much blighted just a few years ago, and as you drove in, you saw a school, you saw beautiful apartments along Washington Street, and there's so much more that's going on, and right behind us is going to be redone also. So this is an area that really has been thriving over the last couple of years, and there's a lot more to come. So Old Central State, becoming Central Greens, is really going to be a great area for the city here and into the future, and I want to thank everybody for doing that also. But it's important, this police community connection. And it is across the country. And over the last few years, this particular piece has been growing so much on National Night Out over the last few years. I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud that the neighborhood groups that we always tell, we want you to be organized, we want you to be strong, and we want you to be connected to the police department and all those that can help you. And that's why this is so important tonight. We've come to realize that we just can't do the same thing over and over again, and I think the police are doing a terrific job using data in a certain way, doing all those things that are necessary, but also we're now addressing the pre-K issue. We're addressing tutoring and mentoring on a different level with the Your Life Matters Task Force. All that is important. We have to do all of this in a holistic manner to make sure that our city is as relatively safe as it can possibly be. And like I say, the police have done a terrific job in the last few years. It's been amazing what has happened. And great leadership, obviously, happens, but even the cop on the beat, guy walking the street, has been doing a terrific job. And I really appreciate that, the fact that they give it their all every day. So that's why it's so fun to be out here on this particular afternoon, honoring those people who work with the police, who do such a good job to make sure that their community is safe. So thanks everybody for coming out today. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Prosecutor Terry Curry cannot be here today. Deputy Prosecutor Ryan Mears, Chief of the Major Felony Division, is here in his place. So please welcome Deputy Prosecutor Ryan Mears.
Once again, my name is Ryan Mears with the Marion County Prosecutor's Office. I'm Chief of the Major Felony Division at the Prosecutor's Office. It's a tremendous honor to be here today with our partners in law enforcement, our partners in public safety. It's so nice to see Chief Hite here, Mayor Ballard here. We sincerely appreciate everyone coming out here and helping us recognize our friends at Butler University who have made tremendous contributions to public safety. Joining us here today from Butler University is Ben Hunter, who's the Executive Director of Public Safety. We have the Dr. Brandie Oliver, who's an Assistant Professor at Butler, and Detective Bruce Allee from the Butler Police Department. Under the leadership and guidance of Executive Director Ben Hunter, Butler University has been extremely proactive, and they've been at the forefront of developing innovative methods to deal with some of the problems that we deal with every day in public safety. The Butler University has been a tremendous partner with the Marion County Prosecutor's Office. We've addressed issues such as school bullying. We've addressed issues involving truancy. We've addressed issues involving underage drinking. And all that's been possible because of the leadership and the guidance that Chief Hunter's provided to the Marion County Prosecutor's Office. It's been a tremendous partnership for us, and we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot from Dr. Brandie Oliver. Dr. Oliver has provided tremendous insight with us. About a year ago, we did a forum on school bullying, and she provided tremendous insight, sharing her expertise on school bullying. And each and every single day, our prosecutors take what they learned from Dr. Oliver, and they share that for the students around the county. Each and every single day, prosecutors in our office go around the county and educate students on the issues of school bullying. One of the things that we love to do is to get out to the schools, but it's also important to make sure that our kids actually end up in the schools. We've had a really difficult problem, a difficult issue has been school truancy. How do we handle the issue of school truancy? Once again, Dr. Oliver provided tremendous leadership on this issue, and she, along with her graduate students, have developed an innovative program to address school truancy. Individuals whose kids don't go to school, both the parents and the children, are now obligated to participate in a course designed by Dr. Oliver that helps get those students back on track, that helps get those students into school. So we can't thank her enough for all of those efforts. And finally, one of the problems that all college campuses have to confront and have to deal with is the issue of underage drinking. Underage drinking is something that's prevalent on at all campuses, and it's something that we need to do a better job of addressing. And once again, Butler helped provide us with an answer. Detective Bruce Allee developed an innovative program where he was able to educate students, show them the dangers and impact that their drinking could have, not only on themselves, but the community that they're a part of over in the Butler-Tarkington area. And so, once again, they've been able to, through their proactive measures, they've been able to make a sincere contribution to the northwest side of Indianapolis, and they've made it a little bit of a safer place and a nicer place. So on behalf of the Marion County Prosecutor's Office and on behalf of the thankful community, we want to thank our friends at Butler University for everything that they've done. Thank you.
Okay, last but certainly not least, our next guest speaker is committed to making Indianapolis a safer place to work, a safer place to live, and a safer place to raise a family. Please welcome IMPD Chief Rick Hite.
Safer place to live, to work, and raise a family. Isn't that ideals that we all should aspire to? Yes. Every one of you in this room has been, I think, part and parcel to that happening in a very big way. This is your night. I'm excited, aren't you? You get a chance to honor people who've done outstanding work in terms of individuals and everyone who's been nominated or is deserving of the award. But I want to first honor those people being honored today. Thank the mayor, thank the prosecutor for being here. But I think it's important to also recognize if we weren't for you, we wouldn't be here. The citizens of the great city have really helped us this year. And so many initiatives we've been involved in and really were not for you, your willingness to trust us, stand beside us, and lead, and oftentimes lead us in the right direction to bring about peace and change in our community wouldn't happen. We often talk about on camera about our federal partners, but if it weren't for the fact that there's been a 30% increase in the number of calls to the tips line, 262 tips work. The fact that you're willing to come to court to be jurors, come to court to be understanding the value of being sharing information with us to bring people to justice, we wouldn't be here. The other thing to talk about, and I think it's important, is understanding that there are major operations that you and the IMPD, along with the state police and all the federal partners, have been participating in. Operation Family Ties is a good example where we identified individuals involved in violent crime, and we took $4.5 million off the street. The most recent case where we identified 35 people in the Block Burners organization. We're bringing them to justice. Murders are down. Give yourselves a hand with that, because they got a lot to do with that. Give yourselves a round of applause. Murders are down. None of this happens in a vacuum. I'm blessed to have surrounded by great leadership and our chiefs and commanders. I'm glad to hear, but also hardworking men and women, many of which are out on the street right now, making sure our city is safe. Our brand new criminal tracking unit, part of the mission is being able to identify persons earlier rather than later who have histories, propensities towards violent crimes, is working extremely well. The fact we were able to take with the same resources the mayor and the city council provided, a full-time SWAT team. Didn't cost us any additional money, Mr. Mayor, but it did give us an opportunity to be able to save lives. Enhancement in technology, looking at how we look at technology and data. Your focus areas, you've seen what we've done in terms of providing that data, but isn't it nice to have stakeholders we can call upon you to ask you to assist us in not only rendering safety and security, but also dealing with long-term challenges that have gone on for decades. looking at mental health, substance abuse treatment, housing, issues around education. These are all important things. Reentry, all important things that we've been a part of with your help this year. But lastly, the most important thing I think is to be able to talk about how we differ from other cities. We have a right to be a little braggadocious. We haven't had the challenges with community police other places have had. And there's a reason for that. We believe in going out in the community and having a conversation with you. We talk about technology. We took a chance and borrowed some equipment and put together our first body cam project. We're not done with that yet. We have some more things to do, but we need to have you invested in helping us develop policies around it, the dissemination of information. And the community conversations work. We don't just show up when there's a challenge. We want to come to you before it gets to that point and develop conversations and be able to identify those challenges early on so we can be successful. Tonight's going to be a good night. This is a great city. Looking forward to seeing you out there, and again, congratulations to our honorees.
Thank you, Chief. We're going to go ahead and get started with the presentation of the awards. If we could have the commanders, the community relation officers, the Crime Watch specialist, and the Crime Fighter of the Year to come up when your district is called. Could I have Deputy Prosecutor Ryan Mears please come forward? Their crime fighters are Ben Hunter and Dr. Brandie Oliver from Butler University and Detective Bruce Allee.
Once again, we'd just like to recognize our friends over at Butler University. Joining us up here, we have Public Safety Director Ben Hunter, Dr. Oliver, Bruce Allee, and perhaps the most famous and most well-known person at Butler University, Tripp. So once again, if you could join us and give us a round of applause to Executive Director Ben Hunter, Dr. Oliver, and Detective Bruce Allee.
Congratulations. Now we need the Downtown District Commander Karen Arnett, Community Relations Officer Kim Evans, and Crime Fighter Glenn Blackwood with Fletcher Place Crime Watch.
The recipient of the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department Downtown District Crime Fighter of the Year Award consistently works hard to enhance the partnership with the district to reduce crime, reduce the fear of crime, and has improved the quality of life in the Fletcher Place neighborhood for the residents and businesses. Glenn Blackwood is a defined leader in the Fletcher Place community and understands the importance of working together with the neighborhood residents, business, and law enforcement to promote a safe, healthy, and thriving neighborhood. Fletcher Place is one of the city's oldest neighborhoods. This historic, vibrant neighborhood has a wonderful mixture of arts, cultural trails, food and history, and Glenn has taken great pride in his community. In addition to holding a full-time job, he volunteers his time daily on beautification projects, facilitates monthly neighborhood meetings, bringing the community together, and most importantly, he is relentless in reminding all neighborhood residents of the importance of neighborhood safety. Glenn has an excellent working relationship with the men and women of the IMPD Downtown District. His motivation and dedication for the safety of all residents is recognized by all in the community. When his neighborhood experienced an increase in burglaries, Mr. Blackwood partnered with the Marion County Prosecutor's Office to present a burglary prevention presentation to the residents in his community and surrounding communities on burglary prevention tips. Mr. Blackwood helped facilitate in getting the Fletcher Place CrimeWatch organized in the neighborhood. He works tirelessly with local and new businesses to ensure the quality of life standards in the community are not compromised. He attends the district's task force meetings on a regular basis to gain information and knowledge, which he shares with the residents in the community. Additionally, he attends the Coffee with the Cop, allowing him to meet and become more familiar with the officers on the downtown district on a personal basis. Mr. Blackwood has an open dialogue with the district's community relations officer and always pleasant and willing to help in any way he can. He has an excellent working relationship with the residential and business community. He is a caring neighbor, friend, leader, and crime fighter to all in the Fletcher Place neighborhood. It is for these reasons we are pleased to recognize Mr. Glenn Blackwood as the recipient of the IMPD Downtown District Crime Fighter of the Year Award.
Congratulations. Next, do we have, Next, do we have the East District Commander Michael Bruin, Crime Watch Specialist Steve Talley, and Community Relations Officers Sergeant Brandon Mills and Crime Fighter Chris Stabb with Northeast Side Community Organization. Please come forward.
The 2015 National Night Out East District Crime Fighter of the Year is Mr. Chris Stabb. Chris is the chairman of the NESCO Community Policing Committee and a NESCO board member. As a resident and member of NESCO, Chris works very hard to improve the Near East Side of Indianapolis. Chris routinely checks the NESCO area for code violations and other problems. He frequently and consistently reports his findings to the proper authorities, primarily code enforcement. As a faithful representative of his community, he attends code enforcement hearings regularly and shares what he learns with his neighborhood and other interested parties. Thanks to his work, numerous quality of life issues are addressed in a timely manner. Chris applies the broken window theory in his efforts to make his city safe, livable, beautiful, and crime-free. Recently, Chris has given his time to meet with IMPD, the city attorney, and large-scale East Side landlords to work towards improvements on their properties. I personally have learned a great deal from Chris regarding code enforcement issues. Due to the respect that Chris has earned in the community, he receives complaints from citizens regarding drug dealing, gangs, and other criminal activity. He promptly reports these complaints to the police and helps to monitor those situations. He never lets fear of retribution stop him from helping his neighbors and helping the police. He attends most task force meetings and provides valuable insights on crime, city code issues, and issues in his neighborhood. Chris Stabb works fearlessly and tirelessly for the good of the East Side, so please join me in recognizing him as the East District Crime Fighter of the Year.
Congratulations. Next, could we have the North District Commander? Next, could we have the North District Commander Chris Bailey, Crime Watch Specialist Gerardo Becerra, and crime fighters Lana Stevens with the Castle Cove Crime Watch, and Community Relations Officer Michael Maxwell, Lindsay Terry, and Nicole Pilkington.
Good afternoon. Miss Lana Stevens has lived in the Castle Grove community for over 10 years. She has been active on the Homeowners Association, currently serving as the board's vice president. She also serves both on the Compliance Committee and the Newsletter Committees. She is a member of the CrimeWatch Association, is a resource for other CrimeWatch coordinators, and has been a block captain since 2008. Everything she does is done with passion and dedication for her community. Ms. Stevens has coordinated the Castle Cove, National Night Out Ice Cream Social for the past 8 years. She attends every North District Task Force meeting and has graciously volunteered at our Community Day picnic every year, and despite the heat, proudly serves hot dogs with a smile and a great attitude. She is a great community partner for her police department. She has made it clear to me that she loves her community relations officers, and I hear the message, they're not going anywhere. She has also volunteered to sit on a panel next week interviewing who are candidates for potential community relations sergeants, so thank you for that. Some of her other achievements include serving on the Red Cross Disaster Action Team locally and in the southern U.S. after Hurricane Katrina. She has been a Meals on Wheels volunteer for over 10 years, co-founded and directed the nationally recognized student mentor program at ITT Tech's flagship school in Indianapolis, completed the Citizens Academy in 2009, completed the Prosecutor's Office Community Justice Academy in 2012 and 2013. She is part of a senior adult ministries leadership team at East 91st Street Christian Church, coordinates a school supply drive and school break snack drive for Shepherd Community, currently is a liaison between the City of Indianapolis, IPL, and Castle Grove neighborhood regarding the ongoing 82nd Street widening project. In her professional life, she has worked for community action, served as a teacher, a flight attendant, a trainer, a business owner, a home care provider for the elderly, and a wedding planner. While working for the airline, she was elected to participate in the production of training and evacuation drills and participated in the FAA certification drills for airplanes starting their new routes in the Pacific Islands. She treasures her beloved daughter, son, and their spouses, her grandson, and her sister. She moved to Indiana kicking and screaming in 1980, but you couldn't get her to leave now even if you tried. She has become a Hoosier quickly and is extremely proud of it. A longtime Colts season ticket holder, and she loves the Indiana Fever and is an Indiana 11 fan. It is our honor and pleasure to recognize Ms. Lana Stevens for her outstanding work and commitment to community and proudly name her as the 2015 North District Crime Fighter of the Year.
Next, we have the Northwest District Commander Dawn Snyder, Crime Watch Specialist Diane Mormon, Community Relations Officer Sergeant Matt Grimes, and crime fighters Ken and Juanita Schwenker with Oil Creek and Jade Creek Court Crime Watch.
Good afternoon. Thank you for coming out to celebrate National Night Out with us. Before I read our nomination for Crime Fighter of the Year, I've asked Diane Mormon, our Crime Watch Specialist for Northwest District, to step up, and she has a quote here by President Kennedy that embodies today and the recognition that we're giving to our Crime Fighters of the Year. So before I read our nomination, Diane, if you could.
Thank you, Commander.
Each time a man stands up for an ideal or acts to improve the lots of others or strikes out against injustice, he sends forth a tiny ripple of hope. And crossing each other from a million different centers of energy and daring, those ripples build a current that can sweep down the mightiest walls of oppression and resistance. Robert F.
The reason I asked Diane to come up and to read that is, one, she selected it, and Diane has been the CrimeWatch specialist on the district for the last 5 years. And while I get to meet our citizens at different events that we have, it is the Community Relations Unit that puts the events together, and Diane works very closely with our Crime Fighters of the Year as well as all of the CrimeWatch neighborhoods. And so that's why I asked her to come up. The Northwest District of Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department is honored to announce the 2015 Crime Fighters of the Year, Mr. Ken and Juanita Schwenker. Ken and Juanita are longtime residents of Indianapolis and serve as the leaders of the Oil Creek Jade Circle Crime Watch. Consistently, Ken and Juanita conduct their Crime Watch meetings that result in exceptional attendance by the neighbors who are willing to put forth efforts to see that their neighborhood continues to be a safe and comfortable place to live. Clearly, their belief that safety and security begins at home is embodied by their excellent partnership with the IMPD. The Oil Creek Jade Circle Crime Watch is a textbook example of a community organizing against crime. Ken and Juanita have always demonstrated respect, compassion, responsibility, and concern when handling communications with the Oil Creek community so that everyone is kept informed of any incident that occurs in their neighborhood. Ken and Juanita don't confine themselves to just their neighborhood cause. They are familiar faces at our Community Day event every year, serving up hundreds of hot dogs and hamburgers to more than 2,000 guests at our event. It'll be in September this year. Additionally, they have attended and participated in many task force meetings held at our district and other locations in our community conversations. The IMPD Crime Watch program has been successful since its inception in the 1970s. Its success is completely dependent on citizen volunteers like Ken and Juanita. They are the kind of neighbors that make a great neighborhood. To Ken and Juanita, the IMPD Northwest District thanks you for your commitment, enthusiasm, and service to our community.
Okay, next we have the Southeast District Commander John Mann, Crime Watch Specialist Ann Westrup, and Crime Fighters Hubler Chevrolet, along with Community Relations Officer Andrew Sheeler and Gretchen Smith. I know you didn't want me to call you up, I'm going to anyways.
Good afternoon. It is my privilege to recognize Hubler Chevrolet as the Southeast District Crime Fighter of the Year award recipient. In law enforcement, we know to be successful in fighting crime requires everyone working together. The police can't do it alone, citizens can't do it alone, businesses can't do it alone, churches can't do it alone. That's why these community partnerships you're learning about today are absolutely critical and vital for our success. We honestly can't thank Hubler Chevrolet, especially Brooke Hubler and Joe Falk, enough for their willingness to get involved in generosity support in IMPD and our community. They have set the bar high. Their passion and concern for helping others is great. Hubler has continually demonstrated a sincere commitment and dedication to IMPD by supporting a variety of community policing programs and events. I was told to keep it short, so briefly. Many of you here today know in 2013, Hubler single-handedly rescued IMPD's Clothe the Child program. It was during the Clothe the Child event that Brooke and Joe witnessed firsthand the impact that officers had making a difference in the lives of young children. They realized the importance was a necessity to providing opportunities for positive police-community interactions, and they asked how they could do more. So they partnered with us again and hosted IMPD's Easter Egg Extravaganza. This is now a huge annual event that attracts over 5,000 families. Hubler provided food, bounce houses, face painting, train rides, music, and door prizes, and 15,000 candy-filled eggs, making this one of the largest organized Easter egg hunts in the city. Again, Hubler wanted to do more. So they stepped up and hosted a child ID project with IMPD Southeast District. It was a new initiative that allows parents to receive FBI quality digital fingerprints and a photo for their children. Over 200 families received this child ID cards. Recently, Hubler purchased all the necessary equipment, including cameras, computers, digital fingerprint reader, and card printer to continue the child ID project. The neat thing about this is the versatility of the equipment, allowing it to be used for a variety of applications. For example, the CARS card listed vehicle larceny crime prevention tips that we'll be passing out tonight at the annual night out. As you can see, Joe and Brooke share a passion with Southeast District concerning our number one asset, and that's our children and youth. Setting this foundation, we feel will pay dividends for years to come for not only our district, but for the community as a whole. These are just a few examples of the IMPD events and programs made possible by the generosity and support of Hubler Chevrolet. I have to mention that neither Brooke nor Joe do any of this for recognition. In fact, my guess is they're a bit uncomfortable being honored here today. However, simply put, the work you do to provide these opportunities for positive police-community interaction is invaluable and deserves to be recognized. We appreciate and are blessed by this terrific police-community partnership. On behalf of the men and women of the Indianapolis Police Department, Southeast District, I am happy to award Hubler Chevrolet with the 2015 District Crime Fighter of the Year.
Okay, our last district is the Southwest District with Commander Dave Hoffman, Community Relations Officer Sergeant Lori Himmel, and myself as a CrimeWatch Specialist. And our Crime Fighter of the Year over there, Carl Finchum, with the Luett CrimeWatch Group.
I'm going to deviate slightly from the program. I wanted to make one announcement, one point of order. It was 10 years ago at this very event, the West District, the IPD West District Crime Fighter of the Year Award was bestowed upon a lady who was an amazing advocate for neighbors, eyes and ears, the voice of a neighborhood on the west side, and her name was Paula Barnes. So now here it is 10 years later, obviously employed as a civilian with IMPD as a CrimeWatch specialist on Southwest District, and I personally could not be more proud of the hard work she does every day. And part of her hard work includes consulting with me and Sergeant Lori Himmel to select the Southwest District Crime Fighter of the Year, Mr. Carl Finchum. Allow me to introduce you to Carl. He has been a neighborhood fixture and public safety advocate in the West Washington and Tibbs Street community for nearly 51 years. He's a proven good neighbor, good Samaritan, all-around fantastic guy and leader who genuinely cares about the people of his near West Side home front. He is now and always has been eager to step up to confront the criminal element that sometimes threatens the families of this neighborhood. He routinely coordinates, advertises, conducts CrimeWatch meetings in his vicinity. He always attends Southwest District monthly task force meetings where he shares security concerns with fellow neighbors and police alike. He's usually in the front row for educational information shared at the task force meetings. Carl accepted the invitation to participate in the Southwest District and Southeast District Commander for a Day program earlier this year, which provided insight into what rookie cops experience in their first year in training on the job, from firearms simulations to driving police cars. Following the departure of a longtime block captain in his area, Carl was quick to step up to assume the role. He hit the ground running and made it a top priority of his administration to expand the jurisdiction and membership of his CrimeWatch organization, a task he has taken very seriously. In a very short time, he has expanded the Luett CrimeWatch group from just one street to 7, one block to 7, I should say, with many more to come in the future as momentum grows. Although he's now retired from his full-time career, Carl spent a great deal of time serving the Wayne Township School Corporation as a warehouse manager for the district. Before that, he worked hard for the Link Belt Corporation in a variety of capacities. Clearly, Carl knows how to work behind the scenes to get things done, a skill that serves him well as the leader of his community safety group. He's not a spotlight-seeking kind of man. Instead, he's the type to provide service to his community in a quiet, consistent, predictable manner, receiving very little recognition for the nice things he does for his neighbors with almost no fanfare, which is exactly how he likes it. Carl is active in other community service organizations. He's been a Lions Club volunteer for more than 30 years. He's an experienced member of the 40 West Business Association, and when not fighting crime by partnering with the Southwest District, Carl enjoys bass fishing, tending to his yard, and cheering on his beloved Indianapolis Colts and the Indiana University Hoosiers basketball squad. Last but certainly not least, I have to pause for this because it's probably the most important part. Last but certainly not least, Carl and his wife Mary will celebrate their 60th wedding anniversary in less than 3 months. Mary doesn't seek attention either, so she'll just remain seated. 2 daughters, a granddaughter, and word on the street is that Mary deserves most, if not all, of the credit for Carl's award, as it is said that behind every good man is a great woman. So congratulations and thank you, Carl and Mary Finchum, for all that you do to earn the 2015 Southwest District Crime Fighter of the Year Award.
Okay, please give a round of applause to all of our Crime Fighter of the Year award recipients. I would like to thank our sponsors, Jackie's Gourmet Catering, for the delicious food that has been provided, Reverie Estates for the use of this fabulous facility, Lucky Dog Graphics for the National Night Out sign, and Usher Funeral Home for their financial support. I would also like to thank Donna Forbes for all of her hard work in organizing this event. Thank you, Donna. But most of all, on behalf of IMPD, I would like to thank you, the community, because without you, our jobs would be impossible. So thank you. Where's Bobby at? Bobby, come on up. Donna has had a lot of people ask about this building today, so she would like for Bobby to come up and kind of talk a little bit about it for just a second.
Hello. My name is Bobby Zaffru. I'm the property manager for the Reverie Estates portion of the property. For those of you who don't know, I get a lot, what happened here, what's the story here. From 1848 until 1994, all 160 acres of this was the insane asylum for the state of Indiana. So lots of bad mojo, to put it mildly. This building in particular had been the recreation hall. It was very kind of a one flew over the cuckoo's nest nightmare when I first saw it. But with a lot of love and elbow grease, it's now the event center. We're just calling it the 1899 because we're not that clever. That's when it was built. It still says it in tile on the floor, 1899. So far we've had some weddings here, other ribbon cutting ceremonies just a few months ago. Yeah, so if anyone has any interest in the buildings, there's that. Another really cool thing, one of our buildings that we're moving forward into is the old laundry building. Our goal is within a couple years to have that built out into new stables for the IMPD Mounted Patrol. That is here on the property also. So yeah, any questions, just ask. Otherwise, thank you all so much for being here.
After Pastor Cody's benediction, please plan to stay for the luncheon, and then also if we could have Mayor and Chief and all the honorees over here so we could get a formal picture, that would be great. And thanks again for coming out tonight.
We got done in just enough time for me to do a sermon. In the book of John, the 13th chapter, the Bible talks about the disciples of Christ. And it says that by this shall all men know that you are my disciples, that you have love one toward another. And today, I think the love in this room and in this community has made us the community that we are. Evil prevails when good people do nothing. We're so glad for the community that has come alongside our department to help us. Let us pray. Lord, thank you today for this National Night Out kickoff. Thank you for the men and women of this community who have stepped forward. God, we realize today that teamwork makes the dream work. Thank you for great leadership. Thank you for great fellowship. Thank you, God, for those who have committed their lives that others' lives might be better. Keep us ever mindful of what we are here for and why we are called. Help us to remember that talent is God-given, to be humble, that fame is man-given, to be grateful, and that conceit is self-given, and to be careful. Let the words of our mouth and the meditations of our heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.